We all know that Singapore is GMT+8, but do you know that is technically not correct? Because we should be at GMT+7. Watch on and you'll be smarter by just a bit. If you didn't become smarter, that means you were never smart in the first place, you bodo. Cause smarter means you need to be smart in the first place. It's a comparative adjective and not an absolute adjective. I say you also catch no ball. So, before anything, you need to know how time zone works first. Firstly, why are there time zones? Because sometimes couple go to shopping centers and don't know what to do. So the guy bring the girl to time zone to show off his X-Men versus Street Fighter. Oh yeah, sorry. Who the heck still play X-Men versus Street Fighter? Yeah, we are talking about time zones, the different timings each region use. In Singapore and Malaysia, we, of course, use GMT+8. Here's how it works. The Earth is a ball, and back in 1880s, the world basically agreed to slice it into 24 vertical streets, anchored to a place called Greenwich in London. Yes, this is why GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time. Anyway, each street is 15 degrees of longitude wide, and each one is exactly 1 hour apart. Singapore sits about 103.8 degrees east of Greenwich. Do the maths, and that puts us squarely inside the GMT+7 street, similar to Bangkok and Jakarta, as they are roughly on the same vertical line as us. But we are using GMT+8 instead. Why? Well, the short answer is politics, business, and something that happened in 1981. But before we get into that, Singapore's clock has actually been changed not once, or not twice, but 6 times in the last 120 years. Let's talk about the first 5. On 1st June 1905, the British standardised everything in Malaya to GMT+7. Now, okay, that makes sense. But in 1933, we became GMT+720 due to daylight savings. Daylight savings is a very chim topic by itself, so if you want me to do a video about that, just type Blue Cat Slide Waffle and I'll consider doing one. Anyways, in September 1941, it was pushed forward another 10 minutes to GMT+730, partly to fit BBC's overseas radio programming times during the war period. And in 1942, we were occupied by the Japanese, so we switched to GMT+9, which is their timing. And finally, in 1945, we moved back to GMT+730 after the British took Singapore back. So why is it GMT+8 then? If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. It all started in December 1981. Malaysia at that time had a weird problem. They were running on 2 different time zones in one country. You see, West Malaysia is at GMT+730 and East Malaysia is at GMT+8. The Malaysian government decided to fix this and announced they were moving West Malaysia forward by 30 minutes, so the whole country will be on GMT+8. Remember, back then, Singapore was at GMT+730. So Singapore had to make a choice: stay on GMT+730 and be the only country in that region on that time, or follow Malaysia. The decision came fast. On 20 December 1981, the Singapore Ministry of Culture issued a press release announcing Singapore will also move to GMT+8, effective 1st January 1982. The official reason? Trade, travel, and the many close ties between the peoples and governments of Singapore and Malaysia. The then president of Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce has said, if Singapore does not change its time, it will mean half an hour of reduced contracts, especially since most business dealings are conducted over the telephone. There's another reason. If we use GMT+730, Singapore's working hours barely overlap with the rest of the world. When the US West Coast markets were closing, we were just starting work. By the time we were ready to do business with them, they had already gone home. The 30-minute jump fixed this. At GMT+8, Singapore can now catch the last bit of America's trading day, then pass the baton to London when Europe woke up. Also, we were now on the same time as Hong Kong, which is on GMT+8, and had 30 more minutes to do business with Japan, which is on GMT+9. Also, Japan was pumping quite a bit of money into Singapore at that time. So, on New Year's Eve 1981, Singapore did something big. At 11:30 PM on 31st December, the clocks jumped straight to midnight. Basically, if you are someone who is born before 31st December 1981, you have once time traveled 30 minutes.
Then how about the many different time traveling Singaporeans went through before? How will they feel?
I don't know, ask her lah.
Huh?
Therefore, since 1st January 1982, Singapore has been running about 1 full hour ahead of where the sun thinks we should be. This is why our sunrise is so late compared to other countries. Even near the equator, where the day should be a clean 12 hours, Singapore's sun comes up around 7 AM instead of 6 AM. So the next time you wake up before sunrise and feel like something is not right, you are not imagining. The clock is really about an hour ahead of where the sun says it should be. Anyways, do you know that on certain months, the sunrise and sunset in Singapore will be very, very different? Watch this and you will understand. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Our website is in the description, or you can scan this QR code. Thank you for spending almost 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.